So today we're going to take a quick look at a glance. The at a glance page is a page that lets you summarize everything within your brokerage accounts and finances and just kind of make a quick analysis of maybe what's working or where you can make improvements and so forth. Essentially just summarizes everything within the project and what you've done to this point. So in the upper left-hand corner, you have project coverage. This is going to be metadata associated to the project. So how many files have you brought in? Right now we have 0. How many sheets? Those are tabs in a file. So if you have an Excel spreadsheet file that you've brought in, has 10 tabs, you'll have 10 sheets there. Has the amount of holdings you have that's associated to both your data and holdings. I call these containers. So these frames here are considered a holding. For instance, this one is Home Depot HD, and you have 10.19 shares. That is one holding. So at a glance, it's just giving you an idea of how many of those you have. It shows your total portfolio value. Total shows your net worth. That's going to be your assets and liabilities and so forth, all added up into the net worth. It's pretty good right there. Liability is only $3. Of course, this is a demo project, so there's going to be some, I guess, small, unbelievable discrepancies there. But we all have more than $3 in liabilities. But it gives you the idea of what you're going to see there. And then you get a detailed breakdown of your net worth. So that's going to break down your holdings and data. Those are those first 2 pages at the top. Then it's going to show you what you have in your 401ks, your pensions, annuities if you have them, and then total assets, liabilities, and net worth. It's going to show you your cash flow, like your monthly income, monthly expenses. You have an option to go ahead and manually make changes. That way you can, I guess, play with these in real time and see how it changes things. And then just putting it on from budget and letting it extract it from the other pages. So then you also have some charts like your net worth, cash flow. So that's showing, like your monthly income, monthly expenses, portfolio allocation. So in this one you can see what holdings are the largest, how it's broken up, if it's balanced well, and so forth. It shows your top holdings, so you can see here in your Vanguard total, you have much more. And then, you go down, Microsoft is much smaller. And so it just breaks it down and shows you where your largest amount of money allocation is going to. Then you have in your budget planning, where you're spending the most throughout the month, and that can be changed. You can say, take a look at it monthly or maybe weekly, and it's going to show you that accordingly. So, it's showing here you have a family allowance, money maybe you're giving to the kids and so forth, which is quite a bit. Monthly transfer to joint checking to handle maybe like the mortgage and whatnot. That's very large. And then you have all these other little things here, like, your Netflix subscription and things like that are adding in there as well. Your daily spend breakdown. So this is showing you, the top things that you're spending on, how much you're spending. So this is showing you for June. Right now, your bills are at $512. Maybe you're wondering what would I spend on transportation. I got $158 this month. Then down here you can take a look at where you're trending for retirement. It shows your projection curve, and it's saying it's assuming a 7% return. So from here it looks like it's increasing, and you're on a steady path to be at what it says is 1.5 million. And then you have net worth over time as well. So this is just showing you, how you're trending and if it's going upwards or downwards, so you can make some adjustments over time. So let's do this really quickly. We're just going to take this project we're in, my budget sample 2, and we'll drag in an Excel file. And you can drag in multiple files, but we'll just bring in one right now. So it's an Excel file. We'll proceed to Vault. And if you haven't seen this before, essentially it's just saying it's discovered things that it can remap. And would you like to do so? And I'm going to say yes, map those shares. And it's saying, okay, we have this Robinhood account designated within that file, and we've mapped all these things. Blue is things that Wellfault is going to map for you that potentially are real time. So VU, for instance, has shares owned. If we were to change that manually to 50, everything in blue here is going to update. So the inputs in gray are going to update according to these inputs that are in white. The white is ones that you can change. So I can change this back to, I don't remember what it was at, but let's say 48. Everything else is going to adjust accordingly. And then the gray is that's data within the spreadsheet that came in that was not remapped, that isn't deleted, but is held there for you to reference if you need to. And you can hide those. So you can click hide custom, and that's just going to go ahead and hide all those gray inputs. Now it's a little cleaner. So this is all the holdings that were loaded in. And if we go back to, and once again, before I go back to at a glance, you have your data, which is associated to the files. And those files are at the top. Okay, so we only have one. And you have holdings. These are manual holdings that you're putting in place as well. So you have two places that you can organize and build these up. I go back to at a glance, and now you see you have one file. It has two sheets. Those are the two tabs that are within it, and it's loaded those in. And now you've seen all these numbers have adjusted.